Hi, it's Kane Hodder, Jason from Friday the 13th. You're watching Slash and Cast. Keep watching, or I'll kill you and your whole family.
What's going on, horror fans? Welcome to another episode of Slash and Cast. My name is Riley. That is Nick. And before we jump into our topics today, we have quite a few announcements. First being, our summer programming officially starts today. This includes a 5-video-a-week schedule, Monday through Friday. Mondays being the same old, being Slash and Cast. And then Tuesdays, we're starting gaming, all right? So gaming, probably Friday the 13th for the most part, especially on Friday.
Right. Wednesday, we have our new show, Conspiracy, Speculations, and Ideologies, shortened to CSI. Pretty self-explanatory. Go check out last week's episode, or 2 weeks ago episode.
Yeah.
We didn't post last week.
Yeah, last week was prep week to
Yes.
start summer programming.
Yes. And then Thursday, we're going to have another gaming video, probably Friday the 13th.
Yeah, so
most
every Tuesday and Thursday, gaming videos.
Right.
Now, Fridays is where it gets interesting because these are like alternative type videos. This is pretty much what we're feeling that week, right? We know we want to do challenge videos, including like guess what movie the song is from, stuff like that, but we're not sure. We do have some stuff planned, but we're just going to keep bouncing around. But there definitely will be videos on Fridays. So
Right, and you know, streaming. We've been streaming a couple times lately. We're pretty locked in doing it every Friday and Saturday afternoons. You know, and we'll probably be streaming during the week as well, maybe once or twice on the weekdays.
just as often as possible. So make sure you follow us on Twitch and subscribe here, of course, so you get notified when we do go live. With that, that's our summer programming, huh? So a lot to come ahead this summer. For the next couple months are going to be pretty hectic over here at RJL Productions.
It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Now, next in our announcements here, Scares That Care Charity Weekend. This is a horror convention that's running July 21st through the 23rd in Williamsburg, Virginia. We are going to be there. We are actually going to be vendors there. We're working on getting our own separate room so we can actually set up Slash and Cast there, have people on the show, including some of the celebrities there, including Kane Hodder, Adrian King, CJ, Graham, who else there? Steve Dash. Gee, that list goes on. All right, so go over, check out Scares That Care Charity Weekend, and you know, if you're in the East Coast area, head over to Williamsburg in July. It'll be a lot of fun. Hang out with some people there. All right. As we say every week, if you're looking to play Friday the 13th, the game with us, make sure you head on over to whatever your platform is, whether that's Xbox, PS4, or Steam. You can go to your club, community, group, whatever it is you are on, and look up Slash N Cast Fans. There are spaces between all those words. There's no possibility for the N except for PS4. That's his fault. Once again, wasn't consistent. We're new here.
Yeah. And lastly, before we get into it, make sure you check out the Friday the 13th, the game Discord. As we said before, great community, a lot of fun, a lot of cool guys there. You know, talk about the game, talk about the franchise, a lot of cool things.
Yeah. So with that, let's jump into actual topics. First, of course, being Friday the 13th, the game. Not much to talk about, but Wes Kellner did come to his Twitter and gave us a little bit of an update when it comes to the Intel graphics and, you know, dynamics of the game. And, you know, hair on the female characters is now dynamic. So if you're running, the hair is swaying. It's all fancy and realistic now. The Alphana guys put it in, you know, nights and weekends in order to get that done. So good for them. All that effort's insane. It's cool to see it, though. If I'd go check out the tweet itself to actually see the movement of the hair, and, of course, at launch, you will see how that works for yourself.
Yeah.
Now, also, you may not know this, but this Friday is officially launch day.
Wow.
Time flies.
Yeah.
I thought this last month was going to be horrifically slow, but hey, we're already here. This is the last week. Everyone's grouping up. Once again, if you're looking to pass time, if you're looking for people to play with on launch day, that Discord's a good place for it, but it's probably going to be pretty dead starting Friday. So
Yeah, it's almost surreal, man. You know, we've been covering this game for a year and a half, almost 2 years. I mean, we'll try to link an early video, one of the earliest videos we talked about the game.
yeah, it wasn't even on this podcast because it was actually, we had our old show, which was the MWM project. We talked about it on there first. So then Slash and Cast happened, and now it's been like, it's just, you know, it's a beautiful love story, okay?
I don't know what we're going to talk about on Slash and Cast. We've opened up with Friday the 13th for months. What are we going to do? I'm sure we'll keep updated with any patches, updates, major updates. You can catch it here.
And of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays still we'll be playing. So that's a good way to stay up to date with the Slash and Cast and Friday the 13th the game community. But we're finally there. Just a few more days, and we'll all be playing together.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next topic, which is Death House. Now, we haven't talked about Death House in a long time. But hey, we have some theatrical details concerning the movie. So, Harrison came to his Twitter, shared a nice little video, a sneak peek at what is Death House and its pre-screening. Let's take a look at that video before we move on.
The way out is not that way. It's down to them with me.
Hi everyone, this is Harrison Smith, director and writer of Death House, and with some pretty exciting news. Since Death House began at the Scaricon convention with the meeting of Gunnar Hansen and myself, we thought it would be appropriate and honoring Gunnar's wishes to do a special sneak screening before the film is released at Scaricon. So this upcoming Scaricon event is going to have a very special, one night only, sneak screening of Death House.
You know something.
I know everything, Novak.
Be sure to see the Scaricon website for all the details. Pay attention to our film's Facebook and also our Twitter, and follow my account as well, as I'll be tweeting information too under B. Harrison Smith or Harrison Smith 85. So we hope to see you all there. We're excited to show this. We're extremely proud of this film, and most of all in honoring Gunnar's wishes. So come on out, and we'll see you at Scaricon in a couple weeks.
Okay, so Death House is indeed getting its own private screening before the theatrical details are locked in. So yeah, Scaricon up there in New England. So we're not gonna be able to make it, unfortunately.
We wish we could.
Yeah, I really do. But yeah, so if you want to get your hand and be able to see the movie before everyone else can, that's the way to do it. When it comes to theatrical details, still not. They're locking down like their final details, right? So at this point, we're not sure if it's going to be worldwide theatrical release or it's going to be select theaters. I'm still saying select theaters.
It might go direct to DVD.
It could do a really short run in select theaters and then go.
Yeah, that's what I think is probably going to happen. But I'd love to see it on the big screen everywhere.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
That's why I want to go to Scaricon.
Yeah,
but we can't
unless we win the lottery in the next couple weeks,
or we'll make some free time as well. Jesus, we've been so busy.
Yeah.
So if you want to see Death House, once again, head over to Scaricon and head up to New England and get your sneak peek at it. But once again, they're still locking in theatrical details, so you can still see it soon. Don't worry, it will still be this year, no matter what.
Yeah.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and move on to killer questions. All right, we have a few killer questions today. First one coming from our buddy Hang in there, and he asked, "What makes a horror film good in your eyes?" So this is a trick question. All right, because horror is one of the genres that kind of like subgenres out to a million different things.
Yeah.
There's like suspense, horror, comedy, parody, slasher. So that could go on all day. There's just a big circle of things when it comes to the horror genre. As for like my taste in horror, while I do love the slasher genre, right? I like suspense a lot. I'm really big on good suspense horror filmmaking. So when you can combine those in a way that works, that's why Halloween's my favorite movie. Like, it was able to take the slasher genre, make it suspenseful, give you a character you truly care about, have a strong female lead. So, I mean, that's the kind of things I look into. But yeah, I don't like cheap jump scares. I guess it's easier for me to say what makes a bad horror movie, and that's like cheap jump scares, no story, no character development, weak characters. So that, I guess, opposite of that is what I think is a good horror film.
Right. I'm basically the same way. I like a little more comedy, not like Scary Movie where it's just really stupid,
right.
Like Scream. Scream is top 3 my favorite movies. Really
love it.
So a little bit of comedy, but again, the earned scares, suspense. That's what we like.
That's what we need. That's what we need out here. We need more of that, especially in this generation.
Yeah.
James Wan's one of the few that actually is at least trying to keep that alive.
Yeah.
All right, next question comes from another buddy. Valo, is there a certain aspect of the film franchise that is not in the game that you'd like to see incorporated into the game as DLC? We've kind of gone over this of like DLC characters we'd like to see. But when you actually like sit down and look at the game, Gunn, they're all huge fans.
Yeah.
And they know what like people like us would want to see, and they've pretty much nailed that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say like, What else we'd like to see? Of course, I'd love to see a New York map. You know, I'd love to. Honestly, I'd like to see the spaceship type thing going on. I'd love to see Jason X making the game, Uber Jason. It'd be cool to have the remake, the verses,
right?
Just to have everything incorporated.
But as far as aspects, they really nailed it.
Yeah,
and I mean, even in the beta, virtual cabin too.
Yeah,
like, everything has a purpose.
It feels like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard. Yeah, if I actually like really sat down and like had to dig deep for it, I could probably find something. But really, I mean, Gun Media knows what they're doing, and them being big fans.
Right. You can't say like nudity because
I wish there was a way to have sex in the game, just like the move. No, especially in the like the way that's set up per game mode. You know, like. You just saw your buddy die. You're not going to just go run off from Jason.
And like drugs, like people were saying, you know, sex and drugs. That's Friday the 13th.
Right.
It doesn't really work in this game.
They were doing that before the game mode started.
Yeah. So yeah, they really nailed it.
Yeah, seriously. So, you know, I don't know. I'll just come back to that one because that's a tough question. All right, last question of the day comes from Rachel Book. That name sounds familiar. Not sure who it is, though. How did Riley and Nick become partners? Well, you know, this is actually kind of asked a lot. Are we brothers? No, we're not brothers. We're just friends. Okay, so we grew up together. We've known each other forever. What made us friends? I don't know. We always we played football together. You know, we had a Coco Key date once. That was nice.
Yeah,
we went to a water park together. Won some pimp hats together. I think Nick, you still have yours.
I do.
Wow.
You know, maybe I'll get a picture and we can put it on the screen, but probably not.
That would be extremely embarrassing.
Yeah.
That was like, what, 4th or 5th grade?
Yeah.
So that's a long time ago. As for like how the show started and how we started working together, that was a fluke. Complete fluke that happened senior year. We are in this group that's called Men with Mustaches, right? That everybody in here was really interested in starting a podcast. And then it was me and you that really devoted to it. It's like, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we wasted our money and did it.
Yeah.
So that was the MWM project. By the way, MWM stands for Men with Mustaches.
Now you
Spoiler
all know.
alert. Spoiler. It's right there. That's never been said before on the show. So there's that. We started that podcast. It became really apparent very quickly that, like, because there was like 5 or 6 of us doing it. It became very apparent very quickly that it was me and you that kind of stood out and talked the most and like really were devoted to it, or willing to devote a lot of time to it, especially considering the fact that I was the one that had to edit everything.
Yeah.
So like,
I just show up, man.
so like, yeah, it took, we really had to devote to it, and it was clear that who was doing that. So that happened. And then we also noticed very quickly on the show that horror took over.
Yeah, there was a good 3/4 of the MWM project that was horror related.
Yeah.
And then finally, you know, actually we had an interview with Harrison Smith, director of Death House.
Yeah.
And the day of, maybe 3 hours before, we're like, do we want to start a horror podcast? And we were figuring out names, and Slash and Cast was born. You know, MWM may have died again, but Slash and Cast lives on.
Yeah. And it's going to keep living on.
You're goddamn
Yeah.
right.
So that's an interesting story. There's a lot more details to go in there, but that's pretty much the main hump of everything. It's we just talked about it, and then we devoted to it,
Yeah.
and here we are today. What a beautiful story. Let's go and move on to our next topic, all right, which is Supernatural and Scooby-Doo crossover coming next season to Supernatural, which is season 13, by the way. My God, it's been going on a long time.
Yeah.
Which, you know, they always said that it was going to, you know, keep going until they run out of story. Does this mean they're running out of story? So it's been confirmed that the worlds of Supernatural and Scooby-Doo will be crossing paths in a special one-off episode for the former show's 13th season next year. Now, Supernatural stars Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles, and they announced the episode at the CW's annual Upfront presentation, according to IndieWire. The duo stated that the characters would be venturing into the fully animated world of Scooby-Doo.
So, yeah, it's probably going to be very separate from the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm not sure, like, we've seen stuff in the, like, you haven't really seen Supernatural. You need to. I'm telling you, please do it. But, like, there's stuff that's happened with the Trickster in the past where they've gone into this, like, TV universe. I imagine that's the road they're taking. So, like, something that gets them into this world. I hope it actually makes sense, right? If we just start the episode and it's animated, it's like, oh, okay. I don't know. Can Scooby-Doo come to the real world? Can we get Freddie Prinze, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Linda Cardellini, Matthew Lillard. I can't remember who voices Scooby-Doo. Let's get all them, put them into the Supernatural world. You know how much money it would cost to CGI Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Maybe I'd watch it.
Really?
Maybe. Maybe.
You're definitely going to watch this episode.
Yeah, I'll watch this episode. So for those of you who don't know, a season 13 synopsis of Supernatural. The exciting journey of the Winchester brothers continues as Supernatural enters its 13th season. Sam and Dean have encountered every kind of supernatural threat, facing down monsters, demons, and gods, saving people, hunting things, and keeping the world safe. In the show's 12th season, the Winchesters were reunited with their long-dead mother and joined forces with the British arm
Spoiler.
of the and the Men of Ladders. But things turn from bad to worse with the return of Lucifer and the surprising revelation that the devil is now expecting a child. Now Sam and Dean find themselves facing a creature of almost an unimaginable power, one that could save the world or destroy it.
My God.
You know, I haven't seen the show, so I didn't know if that was spoilers. Sorry.
Oh, there's spoilers all over that. I just got spoiled a little bit.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. There's still stuff I need to catch up on. It's fine. Regardless, your big news there is Scooby-Doo is making a Supernatural. It was funny because right before this came out, I joked about it. I was like, the world's fit. Let's make it happen.
No joke.
2
days before, maybe.
Yeah, like Supernatural is the real world Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
So they'd work together. And sure enough, this article came out just a couple days later. Make me a writer? I'm thinking. I got some idea. No, just kidding. Do not make me a writer. All right, let's move on to our next topic, which is Scream Queens. Now, I don't know if we've ever talked about Scream Queens, but it is a good show. So this news hurts. Fox has officially canceled Scream Queens. Now, last week we learned that Fox has renewed Lucifer and The Exorcist, planning to bring back The X-Files, but they canceled Sleepy Hollow, which is another good show, and Scream Queens, which left their, that changed last Monday for Scream Queens, of course. This is when it was announced last Monday, and apparently the second season was just a huge mess. So
I've heard great things, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it, and I really regret not watching it when it came out, because I've heard great things about it.
The first season was awesome.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it says, lackluster season 2 ratings.
Yeah, lackluster season 2.
I don't know. Per the TV Guide, Fox Chairman and CEO Gary Newman made the announcement as follows. Over the course of the 2 seasons, it feels like it was a complete story. We have no plans to go back and tell more stories. I think that's a cop-out.
Yeah.
I think he's giving a reason that, doesn't really need to be explained. They had...
Oh, it's not because our show sucks.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Now, Ryan Murphy's anthology series starred Emma Roberts, which, great. Leah Michelle, Abigail Breslin, Zombieland. She's in Zombieland. Billy Lord, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Come on.
I mean, that had an incredible guest star list. Bella Thorne, I believe, was on the first ever episode. Ariana Grande was a reoccurring character.
The list goes on.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah. The show earned a straight-to-series order back in 2015, but was never a ratings hit. So Hulu? Trying to hop into the mess?
That's what I said. I feel like, I haven't seen it, of course, but what I hear about it, I feel like it would be a perfect Hulu, if they picked it up and kept it going. Netflix, I don't really see it fitting Netflix. Hulu fits a
television market.
A television market, television style. You can still have room for commercials and such.
Yeah. So, hey,
Hulu, Amazon.
Yeah, somebody pick it up because it really. I'd like to see it continue on. I don't think that quote really fits what is the Scream Queen story. I do think there's more to tell there. So
right, I definitely need to watch that, and then maybe I'll start a petition if I like it.
Yeah. I bet there's already petitions out there.
I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. With that is a wrap on Slash and Cast today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Editor, roll that outro. Hey, you. Thanks for watching this episode of Slash and Cast. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and click that box right down there to check out last week's episode.
Also, if you want to check out the film the fans are calling the best fan film of all time, make sure you click that box right down there to check out our Friday the 13th fan film.
While you're at it, click that circle right there to subscribe to our channel. Never miss a video again.
As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.